This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of me. Today is quite a serious, but not kind of topic, one that I've never discussed before, but is so popular these days, and I can understand why. And it is called my mid-30s elective egg freezing journey. Ooh, interesting. So I'm going to have to start with, I guess, some tea spilling, and I might get cancelled for people that are anti-abortion. But if you are anti-abortion, you're probably not going to want to listen to any of my podcasts anyway. I have previously been pregnant, not in my 20s, in my 30s. And, I've been pregnant by accident. And it was a tough decision to decide to keep or not. But at the time, I was very conscious that I'd only met the person a few months prior. And it was an accident, right? You know, I've made it to my mid-30s without a single scare, okay? So it's not like, oh, you should be more careful. No. And actually, I got to the point where I remember like 31, 32, and I was in a 5-year relationship. And I thought, oh my God, I've never had a scare. Like, maybe I'm barren. Maybe I can't get pregnant. You know, that's what goes through your head. So when I did get pregnant, I was like, oh, and it was easy. It was easy for me. It was a one night accident done. I was then like, okay, cool. That's okay. But very, 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 very difficult decision to say no. And it's something it was discussed and, you know, so I don't take it lightly. In hindsight, now knowing what I know, am I glad we made that decision? 120% yes. And I can't imagine having said, yes, let's go through with it. I can't imagine how traumatic and destructive that family unit would be now. And it's really sad to say, but we'll leave that there. So yes. So I then get to, mid-30s and I've, have a pregnancy scare and people keep saying, and I'm single, and people's like, you probably freeze your eggs. I'm like, no. And then I think, but maybe I should. So basically, I feel like these days women are finding their career and their success a prominent thing over starting a family early. I'm not trying to stereotype here, but I just feel like as egg freezing becomes more popular, which it has, why is that? And it's because women are like, I do want children, but like not right now. And so your eggs, in case you aren't aware, but I'm sure you are, the younger you are, the better. And if I wish I could go back in time and freeze my eggs like 28, 29, 110% would have. But at that age, I just assumed by my mid-30s, I'll be married with children. My life has not gone the way it was planned. Let me tell you that. I did not expect to be here, ladies and gentlemen. But now I am. I'm like, let's explore. So when you freeze your eggs, so basically the egg freezing process, let's start with that. You have to go for a fertility assessment to begin with. And they take your bloods and they do an ultrasound, an invasive ultrasound. I at first thought it was like an ultrasound on my outside. I was like, yeah, cool. And then they, get you to sit up and spread your legs and get that old fucking dildo-looking camera out. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? So yeah, it's invasive, but doesn't hurt. And what they do is they take your bloods and the ultrasound to see how your ovaries are, because you can't, they won't advise elective egg freezing should your ovaries not, like you got one egg in there, for instance. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their depleted levels are, but they do this to see how adapted you will be to the process. And I had my right ovary is way better than my left. I don't know why. What's wrong with my left ovary? Come on, babe. Come on. So I think I had 5 eggs in my right and I had 2 or 3 in the left. And then what they said for me, in one cycle of egg freezing, I would probably get 5 to 7 eggs. And that ain't a lot. That ain't a lot. And I believe if I'd done this 28, 29, I'd probably get double the amount. So often women do like 2 cycles of egg freezing. So if I did that, well, I'd be looking at 10 to 14 good eggs, which is a really, decent number. Hi, allow me to pop right in here for a quick break and introduce you to today's sponsor, which is the Meat Club, an online food delivery service based in Singapore. These guys started out in 2014 because they were finding it difficult to source high-quality, affordable meat in Singapore. And I totally get where they're coming from. I really struggle with my home cooking on finding the produce. Now, I love to cook a British Sunday roast dinner. If you're on my Instagram, you know it's my thing. But it's always about the produce and ingredients you start off with. And so when I found the Meat Club, I was really excited to try out their fresh, organic, cage-free chicken, the vegetables. They source everything from New Zealand and Australia, so that kind of tells you the quality of food that you're dealing with. Now, they're not a butcher's, so let's get that straight. They do not touch, fill, see, or open any of the produce. They completely trust their suppliers to bring in the best food, which means they also remove any unnecessary freezing and defrosting cycles. Basically, you're getting, I say as best you can, farm to table, given we do live in the city, right? Now, with these guys, the subscription service that they offer, you can do it every week, every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, or you could even do a one-off shop just to dip your toe in, see if you like it. But I love how they take the hassle and the stress out of worrying whether my kitchen and fridge is going to be full of food or not. You can do quite literally a click, set and forget subscription model with them. That's it, done and dusted. You don't need to worry anymore. They also offer $140 in rewards with your subscription service. And if you use my personal code, NIX15, that's NIX15, you will receive $15 off at checkout. So once again, thank you so much to the Meat Club for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you for making my personal roast dinners taste even better. And with that, we'll head back to the story. So the process is, after you have your fertility assessment, if they say, yep, good, like they said to me, some eggs are better than none, you could get this amount of solid good eggs. What then happens on the journey is you have to wait until my period would be a week before the ultrasound, and there's one egg there that's getting ready to release. That I think you start hormonal injections on the day of your period or just after. I think you can do it up to a week after, if I can't remember exactly what she said, but basically, yeah, before you're ovulating and you start these hormonal injections, and it's not a big needle, and you have to inject it into your belly fat nightly for about 10 days. Okay. And what that does is that gets your body ready to all the eggs get ready. Because what happens every month is one egg at random, picked at random, is the one that gets enlarged and released. The injections trick your body almost to do that to all of them. So they're all enlarged as if they're all going to be released. Then when that's done, you then go in and you have your egg removal procedure, and you are put under sedation. And I think they're a step before that where they basically have to check that the eggs are ready. So I think you have an ultrasound, again, invasive, to see if all these eggs are now enlarged. And then you have the procedure. It's under sedation, but it's really quick. It's through your vagina, through your womb, but you're out for it, and it's maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then you wake up. There's no aftermath pain. You feel fine. You can go back to work or go and have some lunch. And then those eggs are taken to the laboratory, and it's only after they remove them can they really see if there's any abnormalities. So they might remove I don't know, lucky cycle off me, they might have been able to remove 10 eggs. And then once it goes to the labs, they're like, only 5 of those are quality eggs. Okay. And then you freeze those eggs and you pay per year to freeze those eggs. And then obviously when you're ready, you can unfreeze them. They go back in. Hopefully the sperm meets them and hopefully you get pregnant, right? That's it in a nutshell. I am not a professional doctor, nurse, nothing. So, this is just me telling you what I've just sat and listened to, okay? But so for me, that I'm like, okay, I can do this. There's a few questions that I asked and I thought you might want to know. I'm like, the hormones, is it going to fuck me up? And they're like, yeah, I mean, I said I get really bad PMS, a really bad PMS. They're like, well, yeah. Yeah, like it does make you moody, your body's overproducing the kind of hormones that you get during your cycle, right? But it's 10 days of your life, okay? And it's like, you might get cramps, you might get headaches, you might get bloating, you might be irritable, moody or sad, but you can still function, you can still go to work and all that jazz. And it's just 10 days. And then you can also, once you have your egg extraction, if you want to do a second cycle, you can actually start it immediately. And sometimes it's better to do that because your body is riding the wave of the past month's injections and the hormones. So they might, if you then do the second set straight away, then it might give you an even better set of eggs, okay? For me, the problem is the price. Now, there's 2 problems, and it's not really a problem. They're both going to come. Egg freezing is very expensive. It is. It's very expensive globally. It's not a Singapore thing. It's a global thing. There are some countries that have cheaper rates than others. You will always be paying for storage per year. You always have to pay for the injections, or you also have to pay for the sedation, the anaesthetist fee, the operation theatre, like all of that jazz. So it's not a cheap decision. The other thing is, do I even want kids? And it's a fucking maze of a question. Like, someone like, I'd rather take a bullet than answer it. Yes and no, I do. And when it is yes and no, when I was pregnant last, I was like, I kind of want to keep it, but I'm not sure. But I do, but I don't. And I never expected to feel that way. So then I'm like, but then no, I don't. And I'm glad. I can't now imagine my life if I'd gone down the different route. But now I'm like, but what if this is because I'm single? What if I meet the one and I've left it too late and my eggs are like, meh, Just because I have previously been pregnant doesn't mean I have quality eggs for reproduction. And I feel like that's another thing we all assume, well, I've been pregnant before, so I don't need egg freeze and I'll be fine. No, especially not as you age. And your age limit, things start to dramatically drop off about 38 onwards. People's eggs deplete. So even in 6 months, I could go back and she'll be like, now you've only got total 4 eggs in there. And I'll be like, what? It's just the age, it's the body clock, it's how the female body is designed, and it sucks. There are antioxidants, and she did describe actually some enzyme antioxidant thing for me to take to help your body. And also your lifestyle choices help with your ovary and egg production. I smoke, I drink a lot of coffee, and I drink alcohol. So I am the arch nemesis of quality eggs, and I've accepted that. But yeah, that's the journey. That's where I'm at. I am not entirely sure when I will do it. I am looking at going to Malaysia to get it done. And I will keep you updated. I can do miniature podcasts or reels or vlogs on like how it feels with the injection, if you're worried about that, or, the mental space and all that jazz. But yeah, I thought I would at least do an episode introducing the idea and then telling you exactly what goes down. So yeah, you don't have to go off and do your own research. I'd be interested to know how many of you ladies have the same mindset. Are you thinking about it? Is it something your friends or family members have suggested? Are you scared? Are you not? Do you want kids? Do you don't? Let me know. Slide into my DMs, as always, at Nixalina, Nixalina. And with that, I will end this episode, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, Nixalina.com. That's Nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.